Well, meanwhile, in Sweden, migrants will have to make more money if they want to qualify for a work permit. The new immigration rule requires foreign labor from outside the EU to earn at least 80% of the country's median salary. That amounts to about $2,700 a month, according to Statistics Sweden. That is nearly double the previous requirement. The law impacts those applying for new permits or renewing existing ones, but does not apply to seasonal workers. The Swedish Justice Ministry says the rule aims to curb low-skilled workers. It also aims to fight fraud and exploitation linked to foreign labor. But some experts say the policy dismantles a once inclusive policy and impacts many immigrants already working in Sweden. Well, for more insight into all this, I am joined by Dimitrios Soultogiannis. He's a journalist and correspondent for Star TV Greece. Dimitrios, thank you so much for coming on our show.
Good evening, Francis. Thank you for having me.
Well, let's put this all in perspective. First of all, this number amount, the $2,700, this new salary requirement for foreign labor. What do you think about this number? It's nearly double the original requirement, and some are saying this is extreme.
The truth is, Francis, that it is extreme, and the Swedish government is actually making it very hard for a lot of new immigrants to come into the country, or for that matter, for the ones who are already in Sweden to stay there. And the truth is that what the country needs, and what a lot of European countries need, is a lot of immigrants who will fill in jobs that the local citizens, their citizens, just simply don't want to do. So actually putting that cap, salary-wise, and that limitation salary-wise, I feel like it's making it very, very hard for the people who are already in the country and they're trying to find another job, already have jobs, or for newcomers to come in and actually work and take on jobs that, again, like I said before, citizens just simply don't want to do.
The Swedish government supports this in saying that, well, this is going to prevent abuse of labor, foreign labor, but some are saying this law is discriminatory, plain and simple. How would you respond to that?
The truth is that it's a little discriminatory because, the minute you disqualify people who cannot possibly make more than 2,900 euros, automatically you're just saying that you cannot be here, either go home, or, if you're going to stay here, you need to make more money. So I think it is discriminatory just simply because it isolates a lot of people and just not allowing them to do the job that they're in the country, and the reason why they're there, and the reason why they came in to do.
Dimitrios, if you could kind of give us some perspective about the employment landscape in Sweden. I mean, what percentage of jobs are we talking does foreign labor make up?
It's closer to 50 or 55% of the foreign workers. And, a lot of people actually would agree with me when I'm saying that, this is a very big percentage. And Sweden, just like Greece or just like other European nations, do need the foreign workers, the foreign immigrants.
And how does this impact the migrants already working in the country as opposed to ones that are coming in new?
So the ones that are already in the country, again, like I said before, either have to find new jobs or they simply will be out of status. They will have to go home. Now, the ones that are willing to go to Sweden, and let's remember, Sweden is already a very tough country to apply as an immigrant, as a foreigner, to apply for a job. So the ones that really do want to come now, that's almost close to impossible.
Now, this rule is pretty much already in place, but what has been the public, I guess, the opinion about this law? I mean, how widespread is support for it?
I guess the country is divided, just like other countries. I mean, from a personal experience, I can just tell you, Greece for sure. So the people who own businesses and do need in Sweden and do need, foreign immigrants and don't have a lot of money to pay them, obviously they are against. And other people who, don't own businesses and don't rely on foreign workers, obviously, are very indifferent.
How does this compare, this law, to other countries like Greece, like Germany, these countries that get a lot of migrants into their workforce? I mean, how does this compare? Is it pretty extreme compared to these other countries across the continent?
It's interesting you brought that up. Actually, today, Greece was voting for immigration reform. In the Greek parliament, the Prime Minister, Kyriakos Mitsotakis, was trying to pass an immigration reform. It's a little different than the Swedish case, because what Kyriakos Mitsotakis is trying to do is actually legalize the immigrants that are already in the country. But unlike Sweden, Greece and other European countries don't have that salary limitation. So in other words, as long as you're legal, you're good to go. You're good to stay in the country no matter how much money you're making yearly. So Sweden is a very unique case compared to many other countries like Italy, like Greece, like Germany, like you mentioned before, that they just don't put that salary limitation.
Interesting how all these countries are approaching this issue. Dimitrios Soultogiannis, thank you so much for your perspective.
Thank you for having me.